Yo, and welcome back to another episode of Prehistoric Speculation, where today we're going to look at a possible list of pterosaurs that could be in Jurassic World Evolution 2. So without further ado, let's get into the list. Okay, so number one, obviously Tranodon. We've seen it, we've watched videos of it, we've had it officially announced by Frontier that this is going to be in the game. Yeah, it's just, we know it's in the game at this point. Personally, I'm not a fan of the Tranodon design in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Like, especially in this screenshot, I think it highlights it, where it looks a lot like a rubber toy almost, like one of those ones you'd have as a kid. But, if you like it, sure, you know, you do you. But I think it might look better with some different colours as well. I'm not a fan of the grey and the dark purple, it's just a bit drab almost. But, anyway, moving on from that, we have Dimorphodon. Dimorphodon is one I think makes a lot of sense because we've seen it in Jurassic World and Camp Cretaceous. Yeah, it's like part of the Jurassic World franchise at this point. It played a major role in both of those. And yeah, it'd just be really odd not to see it in. It's like, they've said multiple, so the multiple is why I'm doing this list, of course. They've said multiple flying reptiles will be in the game and multiple aquatic reptiles will be in the game. So this one, it just makes sense to me that it'll be in. No, it would be. It's been a really weird decision not to. And it's also just a really interesting looking one, especially compared to the Tranodon, because it has that very carnivore-like head, and it has the very dragon-like tail. Just quite a nice looking design. It's also feathered, which is nice because the Tranodon isn't, and still don't get why. I don't know why they haven't changed the design in the movies or in the games either. It's just a bit odd to me. But anyway, yeah, these are going down in a descending list of chance, I think. So this is the second most likely. Tranodon's the most likely, obviously, because it's confirmed, and it's going to go down like that. Just to clarify, these are in in an order anyway. All right, moving on from that, we have Quetzalcoatlus. This will be in the game at some point. Whether it is in the game at launch or not is sort of to be debated, but it will be in at some point because we have seen it in the preview for Jurassic World Dominion looking gorgeous like it is here. This is a screenshot. The design for it, I think it's definitely the best flying reptile we've seen in the Jurassic franchise so far. Just from like the 30 seconds we've seen of it, it looks amazing. It's obviously a lot bigger than the Tranodon, so I imagine it would need more aviary space to live. It would also probably have a different food source. I assume they'll be eating fish majorly, but maybe for some of the like bigger ones, like the more carnivorous ones, like Dimorphodon, there'll be meat feeders and things like that. That's all speculation as well. We don't know too much about that, but yeah. So Quetzalcoatlus is one I think will be in the game either at launch or in the Jurassic World Dominion DLC. Either way, it probably will be in the game at some point. So moving on from that, we go to Tapijara. Tapijara is one of my favourite pterosaurs because of that sail. It's such a prominent sail, and there's no real evidence for it, but you can imagine it being very bright and colourful to attract a mate, as many birds and flying creatures do, of course. And I think that they could do some really interesting things with that in the skin system, creating some really unique patterns and creating a lot of variety within your Tapijara exhibit. These, I think, could use the same animations as a Tranodon, as, each of these so far I think have had different animations. Tapijara could probably use the same one as a Tranodon, sort of cutting down on work for Frontier a little bit, make it a more attractive one to add in and say something like Microraptor, which I haven't added to this list purely because I think it wouldn't fit the aesthetic of the aviaries. They're huge at the moment, and it's a lot of effort to put in, say, if this was 5 unique animations at the start of the game, I think, and every single one I'd after that had a unique animation, that would just add much more workload to Frontier at the moment, especially when they're still trying to get the game finished before the end of the year and all that. Yeah, I think this is quite a likely one to be added. It looks really cool. I'm just a personal fan. And a lot of people are as well, so which makes it, I think, more attractive to add to the game on top of that. Moving on from that, we have the Rampurus. Rampurus is relatively similar to Dimorphodon in size and body shape. The main distinction is its head, which is much more geared towards catching fish and living at the coast and that sort of thing. It's got an even more pronounced tail than Dimorphodon, making it look even more dragon-like and awesome and that. Um, it could use same animations as Dimorphodon, so less work for Frontier, which is nice to see. Yeah, and another shot of it here looking really nice. I don't know how the feeding's going to work, whether they're going to go sit down and eat dead fish, or whether you can place some water down, add some fish to that, and then they can hunt live fish or anything like that, like we saw in the fish feeder for Spinosaurus and Suchomimus later down the line in the first game. Anyway, that's my list. Thank you for listening to it, I guess. Yeah, there's still much we don't know about the Tranodon system, the pterosaur system, and all that. Same thing for the aquatic system. We don't know anything about how it works. We've just seen brief snippets of it in the background of shots, and while looking at the creatures inside. So we don't know how specifically it's going to work quite yet. But I'm sure Frontier will announce that further down the line. But anyway, yeah. Thank you for watching. I've been Prehistoric Speculation. Please like and subscribe if you feel like it. And yeah, if I've missed your favourite pterosaur, can you please leave it in the comment below? And yeah, I'll read those. I'll like the ones I think are cool. So alright, see ya.